Doug. How are you doing?
Oh, good. How are you doing?
Doing pretty well, thank you. How did things kind of play out after that Arkansas game with Riki, and I guess how did the discussions go before she entered the transfer portal?
Yeah. Obviously, she entered the transfer portal, and we wish her well and respect her decision. Uh, you know, Not trying to hide anything. We've talked a little bit about tension in the locker room before, but basically, and this goes for everybody. We're all trying to make the best decisions we can with the knowledge that we have at a particular time. And sometimes they're the right ones, sometimes they're the wrong ones. Sometimes we don't know for another 5 years, you know, if the decision was right or wrong. But hopefully along the way we all gain wisdom from those decisions, and we respect her decision and wish her nothing but the best of luck moving forward. And we're moving forward with, there's not a lot of time to think about it, to be honest with you, because we've got that game tomorrow, and we just have to coach who we have and move forward.
Recording in progress.
I know. Rakia kind of posted on Twitter that there was stuff behind the scenes. I mean, how do you, as a coach, try to keep the team together when there is such big news like this? 48, 24 hours before a game, when there can be, I guess, some tension there.
Yeah. Just task at hand, to be honest with you. Missouri poses they are really good. They're probably one of the best in the SEC running offense. They're very hard to guard. So there's always some sort of distraction. Obviously, this was a major one, but there's always distractions, and it's up to us. It's our choice of what we want to focus on. And some of them pull you away from what truly matters a little bit stronger than others. But right now, it's just task at hand and moving forward, and all of our focus has been on Missouri.
Stefan, go ahead.
Doug, I know you've talked a bit about just the recruiting approach you've had as an interim guy, stepping in at Mississippi State. I guess how do you kind of try to maintain that to recruits when there's players entering the portal and you guys are running, I think, what is it, eight active players out there right now? I mean, does it get any tougher to pitch what you've been trying to do?
Yeah, I was actually worried about that, to be honest with you. And we've talked to all the recruits, and they're all on board. Everybody that's coming in, or everybody that's committed, they're all on board and ready to go. So, yeah, that's my answer.
I don't know if you've dealt with this in the past, maybe not through the portal, but whether it be losing a player to injury or something like that. But how difficult is it to adjust when you lose your leading scorer and your best player, in the middle of the season like that?
Yeah, we'll find out. It's going to be a challenge for sure, but there's always somebody in the mix that's ready to go and maybe gets an opportunity. And if you think about the great moments that have ever happened in your life, they're usually the ones that you didn't ask for, you didn't want. In fact, you might have been afraid and you didn't want to do it. And then all of a sudden, those are the most memorable moments. So we definitely have a shot to create some memorable moments throughout the season. But, yeah, it's going to be a challenge.
John, go ahead.
Doug, was it much of a surprise when you saw that, or when you found out that she was entering the portal? And how would you kind of classify how your relationship with Rakia was and is?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that big of a surprise. The relationship is fine, and yeah, it just wasn't. It wasn't a huge surprise.
Robbie, go ahead.
Coach, I know you have a couple of players in Mia Moore and Eliza that haven't played this season. Is there any anticipation that you could add to the numbers that you have right now, or players that are currently available, or is this kind of what you have?
Yeah, this is it. For some reason the injuries aren't quite healing the way we had hoped, and I don't think they're going to be able to play. At least with the information that I have at this current time.
Andy, go ahead.
I know Raven Farley returned to practice yesterday. Do you kind of, what's the timeline on her, and do you kind of expect her to be able to play? I mean, she's been out for a little while, so I don't know if you can throw her right back in the game, actually.
Yeah, and she's she's been back for 2 days now, and just trying to get her wind back. Her health seems to be in good standing. Did a few scout team things for us today, which was helpful. I don't really have a timeline on that one, but I do like what I've seen so far. In the 2 days since she's been back, that's been helpful.
You said that the Riki entry in the portal wasn't really a surprise. Was this something that has kind of been brought up before, and you had conversations about not entering, or do you enter, or how did those conversations go in the build-up to the decision that came on Monday or whatever it was?
Right. Well, I mean, obviously it was a surprise when it actually happened. I'm just saying overall, it's college athletics. Everybody has options, and a player of her stature, she always has options, and so yeah, maybe I misstated my perception of that, but it's not a surprise for anybody in college athletics to be moving around in teams, and I think we're just starting the wild, wild west the way it's set up.
We'll go ahead and take some questions on tomorrow's game against Missouri. Robbie, go ahead.
Coach, Missouri has been at times this year in a similar situation to y'all and not having a full allotment of players. I think they had 8 players maybe available against South Carolina when they beat them. What have you seen from them, whether they have the amount of players or not this season, and what are you kind of expecting from them tomorrow night?
Yeah, well, I actually hadn't known a lot about Missouri until this year, and I started watching them earlier, and I watched them beat South Carolina, and I was really impressed and became a fan of how they played, and the toughness on that team is ridiculous. I mean, those are some hard-nosed players at varying sizes, and they might be the most skilled team in the league in terms of shooting the ball. Arkansas is awfully skilled in that fashion as well, but I just think they're really skilled, and they're tough, and they shoot the ball as well as anybody in the country. They know how they want to play. They've played together for a while. A lot of respect for that program.
Stefan, go ahead.
I know you were saying that you'll kind of see how the team responds to this moving forward. What have you seen from them, in practice leading up to this game against Missouri?
They've been great. I mean, they've practiced hard. They moved the ball, paid attention during the scouting reports. I've been pleasantly surprised. I've been with their resiliency in moving forward. And
sorry if you've spoken on this in the past already, but you guys gained Eliza Winston through the portal. I know she's joining the team to practice in the spring. Have you gotten her on campus yet, and what are you kind of looking for with her in the coming weeks?
Yeah, she's enrolled. She's taken some online courses, and she'll be here early February, first week of February.
Got time for one or two more if anyone's got any other questions?
Yeah, I'll jump in real quick. I mean, when you don't have Riki, I guess, in this game, I mean, we played one game without her, right? How do you kind of envision that lineup in terms of, I guess, Danae sees a lot more time down low, or how do you try to mix it without Riki?
Well, unfortunately, for Danae, there's only 40 minutes in a game, so it's hard for her to see more time because she pretty much has been staying in there for 40 minutes. And I'm trying to remember. It might be 3 games that we played without Riki. Ree Thompson, and her game she's been getting better every game. She'll get some more minutes, and again, when you're down to a few players, there's not a lot of options in terms of everybody's going to probably get a lot of minutes.